So, which is better, a $20 stainless steel mesh fire pit or a $500 SoloStove? A couple years ago, I spent about $500 and bought myself a SoloStove. It looked so neat. It was shiny stainless steel, self-contained, no ash, no smoke, and I was very excited. But in the long run, it did not fit my needs. It didn't fit my needs at all. Like so many of us overland camper types, we are always looking for new gizmos to make our lives easier, simpler, and more comfortable. The SoloStove seemed to answer all my needs, but it's one thing to have an idea in your head and a fantasy of how you're going to use it, and it is quite another to actually go out in the real world and put it to the test. And like all the videos I watched about it, the wood ignited quickly and easily and burned with very little smoke, and quickly and efficiently consumed the wood that I had put in there. And that's a good thing. But as I sat there in the 20-degree weather, I realized that a lot of that radiant energy was going straight up in the air and into space, instead of radiating outward towards me and my body, kind of like those quartz patio heaters do. I even purchased a reflector which had the idea of, like those patio heaters, reflect the radiant energy or back towards your body. And I took that out on a 15-degree day, and it worked, sort of. It wasn't great. So, bottom line, for car camping in cold weather, the SoloStove is not my first choice. So, I sold my SoloStove and went on a quest for a better solution to fit my needs. And here's what I came up with. So, I found a really nice level spot here on public land, and I brought this stainless steel fire pit. It folds up real small. It's actually pretty awesome. And what I like about it, and I was hoping, was because it's a stainless steel mesh, the heat radiates down towards my toes and my calves, and my shins right now feel the heat from that. And my SoloStove that I had before did not. It also appears to be relatively smoke-free and super light, doesn't let red hot coals drop down below. So I'm really pretty happy with that, actually. It breathes lots of oxygen for the fire. And if you are missing the clips, like you see right here where my foot is, you can always use the little stakes that come with it in the meantime. It costs $20 on Amazon. Okay. It's a fire pit. It's basically 4 pieces of metal and a stainless steel mesh held on by clips to the end of the tubes and tied together with a kind of bolt thing at the middle. And yeah, it's functional. It doesn't have that slick marketing campaign of sitting back, having a nice martini on your $1 million patio overlooking New York Central Park. This is down and dirty, functional, keep yourself warm in the cold. But it does have a couple of characteristics that is shared with the SoloStove. Number one, it is a fairly smokeless device. Because oxygen is freely available on a 360-degree sphere around the fire, it never starves for air, therefore giving better combustion inherently, and therefore less smoke. Number two, what I like about it that the SoloStove doesn't do is this thing allows radiant energy to go back towards the ground where your feet and your shins are generally tend to be nearest the flame. So basically, here's the lowdown. The SoloStove is great if you want to safely and cleanly burn wood with low smoke and have a very pleasant time, perhaps on your patio or a balcony. It has its own lid for quick extinguishing, and the unit stays safe for items that are under it and near it. Won't burn your porch, so to speak. The problem is, for me, is the radiant energy from it don't go towards you. It goes straight up. And without a reflector, you lose all of that. My little 22-inch portable fire pit for camping is a great and awesome solution for $20. It allows you to put wood in the stainless steel mesh, light it quickly and easily. It burns fairly smoke-free, and the radiant heat goes downward and outward in all directions, keeping your body warm.
But it's the Balvenie.
This is what I was looking for, and it folds up quickly. It's really portable, doesn't weigh much, and it doesn't take up a ton of room in your car, and it's easy to empty and cools off quickly as soon as you dump the coals out of it. On the downside, I think it has the risk of being less stable. Obviously, it could get knocked over, and that could be a problem. But the other advantage that it has is that if there is snowpack on the ground, you can set this on top of that snowpack and not have your fire go out because it's melting water directly under it. So, not bad for $20. And a couple of last notes for you guys. Number one, on the SoloStove, you might have noticed that I filled the SoloStove up over the brim and did not use the retaining ring. I did that deliberately because I didn't bring my saw to cut down the wood to fit inside the SoloStove containment, which is another disadvantage for that type of device. The second thing that I did was I had lost a few of the retaining clips for the stainless steel wire mesh to attach to the frame. So I had to improvise.
Here is the thing. And these little clips are here, and I didn't get a chance to put them in because I lost some of them. So I took these skewers, which are like this, and I put them in like that. And thus you have the fire thing.
Hope this was helpful.